Bombshells, more than one of them. It really was the theme of the day in the conspiracy trial of Steve Lawson, charged in connection with the murder of Crystal Rogers from Bardstown. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us on the WHAS 11 Night Team. I'm Doug Prophet. One woman on the stand saying Steve Lawson knew he committed murder, even though he's not charged with killing Crystal Rogers. Then the prosecutor claiming the one man charged with murder, Brooks Houck, had his brother and his own mother as co-conspirators. It has been a wild day in Bowling Green. So we asked WHAS 11's legal analyst Nick Budd about it. He's been with us for more than a year talking about this very case. Tonight on our digital special, Mudd told us the prosecution really built their case today and didn't shy away from the bombshell moments.
You know, the big thing is, which is what I would say if I was a defense lawyer, why didn't you report this then? If it was so important and that big of a bombshell like you're using it now, why are you 10 years later giving a sworn statement in front of a courtroom and yet you held it this entire time? And I'll tell you though, the best response that could be from a witness is, what happened? I was scared.
Yeah, I thought I'd be next. There you have it. You can watch this full digital special right now on our WHAS 11 Plus app. It is free to download. You can watch this anytime. And tomorrow, be sure to tune in at 9:30 p.m. where Nick Mudd will be breaking down the latest from day 3 of the trial, along with our reporters covering the trial. Download on your TV and then watch for free. Well, despite all those new accusations there in the courtroom, the reality is this. Steve Lawson is on trial for conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence. Isaiah Kim Martinez is in the Bowling Green courtroom focusing on the testimony that deals with those charges.
For the first time, the jury got to hear audio from the 3 times Steve Lawson testified before a grand jury in 2023. Lawson admitting his former boss, Brooks Houck, had a code word. When Houck said it, Lawson knew immediately to talk about the rental properties they worked on together.
Hey, Steve, can you remember what you asked me or what you were after?
That very topic coming up during this scrutinized police interrogation video of Houck from years ago. Steve on the other line of this phone call during the interrogation.
And I called and asked you for them numbers for a house.
Oh, for a rental house.
Headphones on, jurors got to hear Lawson in 2023 say Houck once told him he, quote, wanted his wife gone. Our WHAS 11 legal analyst Nick Mudd saying that's major.
I mean, that's huge. That is huge. And Lawson saying that, Lawson been aware of that, that means he knew that a conspiracy, or that he knew there was a plot, that there was a plan to get rid of her.
Lawson testified, to me, it means he wanted her deceased. Responding to Houck, you got the wrong guy. Talk to Charlie. He's talking about Charlie Girdley, a former Houck construction employee who took the stand earlier in day 2. Girdley told the jury he heard Joey Lawson, Steve's son, who's also charged in this case, saying, quote, they could bury her with a skid steer and they'd never find her. We also got an extensive look into Steve Lawson's cell phone data. A cell records analyst from Elizabethtown PD testifying there were multiple calls from July 2015 deleted from Lawson's phone, including a more than 2-minute conversation with Brooks Houck on July 8th, now gone. But still available, a July 4th text exchange between Steve and Joey Lawson. Steve telling Joey, we'll talk in person, nothing over the phone, no text, little surprises coming. Meanwhile, an LMPD detective who took the witness stand saying Lawson's phone was detected multiple times in the early morning hours of July 4th, 2015, near Thompson Hill Road and the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, where Crystal Rogers' car was found abandoned days later. Day 3 of testimony is expected to bring at least 3 more witnesses from prosecutors before the state rests its case against Lawson. After lunch, it'll be the defense's turn to convince jurors that Lawson played no role in helping organize the murder of Crystal Rogers or covering it up. In Bowling Green, Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
By the way, the judge has forbidden cameras in this courtroom. That's why you see the sketches playing out in this case. This trial, though, is moving quickly. We could see a decision, a possible verdict coming in this trial as early as Friday. I also invite you to follow our excellent blog every day, updates throughout the day on WHAS11.com, our website. Every time there is a break in the courtroom, our reporters are bringing you the latest information from inside that courtroom, along with our web journalist Joseph Garcia on WHAS11.com. Now, another story all new for you tonight. A U of L student lied about being a survivor of a high school shooting. In a strong turn of events, the student's former school district and town police department are now pushing back, saying this shooting never happened. WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley interviewed a former classmate who was in school when this shooting allegedly occurred.
A sea of red in the Kentucky State Capitol Rotunda in February. Moms demand action and students demand action, joined forces and spoke about gun violence prevention. Among them, Calvin Polachek. From other video we've seen, we believe this is him up front. The University of Louisville confirmed he's a student. At least twice, he's publicly said there was a school shooting at his high school, Dallas High School of Dallas, Pennsylvania, in 2017. A statement the school system and police department have denied.
It's my 26th year in Dallas, and I could tell you that thankfully, we've never had an event like that at our school district.
The Dallas Township Police Department also confirmed it never happened. They said, quote, there has never been a school shooting at Dallas High School, not in 2017, and not at any point in our community's history. These false claims are deeply troubling. Was there a shooting in 2017?
No, there's not even a threat of a shooting at all.
Joshua Specht says he was a grade above Calvin at Dallas High School.
Everyone from our school knows everybody.
Specht says he always knew him as a good student. Polachek told the crowd and reporters in February at the Kentucky Capitol he lost his best friend, brother, and 9 other classmates in the shooting.
A school shooting is a tragic event. It's just a crazy thing to even lie about, because just the pain that comes with that situation is just terrible.
In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
By the way, we did send messages to Polachek to speak with him, but he never got back with us by news time tonight. Also tonight, we learned the identity of the man who was killed in that shooting involving an off-duty police officer in Jeffersontown this week. Police say 43-year-old Marco Dorsey was acting erratically and banging on windows and car windows as well, breaking them out when he was shot by an officer there on this road in this neighborhood. Now, officers say the officer who shot Dorsey lives in the area. He has been with the J-Town Police Department for 2 years and previously served as an officer with Louisville Metro Police. Since he was off duty, there is no body camera video. Back in 2015, we did some research today and found that Dorsey made news in Louisville when he was 33 years old. His arrest at the time was covered by WHAS 11 News. According to police records, Dorsey allegedly choked a man and forced him from his vehicle while he was sitting at a red light on South 13th Street. And police say he stole the man's car right from that stoplight. Dorsey was arrested and charged there in 2015 with 1 count of possession of cocaine and 1 count of robbery. Hold that thought and your criticism. Changes are coming to the official government social media platforms of Mount Washington and Bullitt County. People say, that it limits free speech. And the city will soon disable the comment section on their public posts. It is not the only town in our area doing this right now. WHAS 11 Night Team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Levi Hammer have reaction from residents who are eager to sound off.
I've been here since 2020, and it's a pretty, close-knit community, and a lot of people are well-spoken out here.
Freedom of speech is important to Sarah Thomas, but in the city's digital universe, they posted this message on their Facebook page about how they will soon disable the ability for taxpayers and the public to comment on future posts. According to some people, this restricts their constitutional rights.
I don't like the idea of limiting freedom of speech. Facebook especially, just to be specific, is one of those examples that offers open speech, open opinion.
But for others at the park, this change is not much of a big deal until it becomes harmful.
In my view, people fight for our rights to have freedom of speech, and I think that's great. But when it becomes hurtful and inflicting on others, it can be very damaging.
I reached out to Mayor Stuart Owen for an interview about this. He was not available, but did reference me back
to their Facebook post. Within the statement, the city says, quote, although we value our community's comments, we want to assure our social media remains to be utilized for informational purposes. The mayor says there are no specific comments that pushed for this change. Rather, it was a review of their handbook that pushed them towards it.
I guess I see both sides of it. We should be able to, have our freedom of speech, but there is a lot of comments that happen, and it gets really out of control really fast.
For now, hold your tongue in Mount Washington. City leaders can't see your comments on their official social media accounts starting June 1st. In Mount Washington, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 Night Team on your side.
And the city of New Albany in southern Indiana has also noticeably limited who can comment on their public posts. They've been doing that since January. We contacted the mayor's office for comment on this, and as of this newscast, we have not yet received a response. Workers at Full Stop, that's the coffee shop and store located in Louisville's Germantown neighborhood, arrived to work this morning and saw bright red paint all over their building. And they shared their security video from last night. You could see a man walking right past the building, setting down a bucket of paint. Seconds later, he comes back to the bucket of paint and chucks it right toward the building and then walks away.
If someone would have told me a week ago that we were going to get paint thrown on our building because of the signs that we have, I would have kept the signs there. It doesn't change how we feel. Nothing is going to change. We're going to take the paint off and we're going to keep going as we always have. When we had the outpour of love, it was not anything that we expected.
Casey mentioned to us that she had not filed a police report because of the busy day that they've had, but is planning on filing one with Metro Police soon. Breaking news out late tonight. Elon Musk is leaving his government role as a top advisor to President Donald Trump. It comes one day after the billionaire entrepreneur criticized the centerpiece of Donald Trump's legislative agenda, what the president calls the, quote, big beautiful bill. Musk, in a new interview with CBS News, called the bill disappointing and said it undermines his work in DOGE. Today, in a post to social media, Musk confirmed that he was leaving, saying in part, as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending, end quote.